For some people, a job defines who they are. It gives them purpose and direction. Well, I must be one of those people, because I've been out of work for over a year now, and I no longer know who I am or where I'm going. Being in my 50s, it's hard not to think of myself as a piece of outdated computer hardware that has no drivers for the latest operating system. Since the hardware is no longer useful, you just throw it away and get a new one. It feels like this is my penance for deciding to go back to school so late in life, but I felt I just couldn't continue on with the way things were going. I was trying to climb the corporate ladder, but in reality, I was walking up a down escalator. Now, I can only speak for myself, but it's a terrible, frightening feeling to be stuck in a dead-end job. It's like you're standing at the ocean's edge as the tide comes in, and your feet are encased in a block of cement. A sense of utter dread and doom overwhelms you as you look skyward and shout a fervent, terrified prayer for help. And you can do nothing but ask yourself, is this all there is? Is this all I was meant for? Will my life's work amount to anything? It makes me wonder if Sisyphus ever thought about giving up and letting his rock roll backwards and crush him. For years, the voice of self-preservation in the back of my head cried out for me to take action, but I ignored it, thinking things would change. And they did, but not for the better. When the company I was working for declared bankruptcy and went out of business, I had to take contract jobs, and every one I took was worse than the one before. All I really wanted was a chance to contribute to the growth of a company and make a difference in what I was doing. But it seemed that type of job was just nowhere to be found. I mean, I always felt I had more to offer an employer than just performing simplistic tasks and punching a clock. But as more and more job functions became outsourced and pushed to the cloud, I saw my aspirations evaporating like water on hot pavement. Soon it was clear that I was at the end of my rope, and I had no slack left to tie a knot and hang on. But it was at that moment that I realized I would regret the things I didn't do more than the things I did. So, in a leap of faith, I let go of the rope and descended into the unknown. Now, my mornings are all the same. After brewing a cup of coffee, I boot up my computer and spend hours weeding through the vast wasteland of fake job posts and career boards, trying to find a job that matches my proficiencies. Sure, every now and then I go on an actual in-person interview, and I'm always greeted with the same look of astonishment when my age becomes apparent to the interviewer. And of course, the mockery continues as I send my resume to recruiters in the New York metropolitan area who advertise jobs that I feel are a perfect match for my skill sets. But strangely, I never receive replies from any of them. Instead, what I do receive are emails from recruiters who have exciting opportunities that are a perfect match in Anchorage, Alaska. Now, do these people really expect me to pack my life into a suitcase and relocate? Or buy a plane ticket to go on an interview? Or are they not people at all, and just some computer system that scanned my online resume and contacted me based on a keyword? Yes, that's right. The computer has turned the employment landscape on its ear. The days of mailing, faxing, or hand-delivering a pen-and-paper resume are over. Most companies don't even have human resources departments anymore. Instead, they rely on a website and a computer-generated voice to do the job for them. Why? My guess is that their HR departments have been outsourced, or they're just plain inexperienced at hiring. Whatever the reason, it's apparent they don't want to put any skin in the game, and would rather embrace a process that has been stripped of all humanity. And the definition of a qualified applicant has been redefined as well. Interns and entry-level applicants are now required to have 1 to 3 years of experience, rather than simply graduating from college and learning the rest on the job. This begs the question, why would anyone with 3 years of experience apply for an entry-level job? And if you saw the laundry list of requirements that companies expect experienced applicants to have, they might as well believe in unicorns. And where do you get this experience? College? Self-study? All I know is that it's very difficult not to feel irrelevant, with so many young people coming out of universities with advanced skill sets, all having cut their teeth on the razor-thin edge of social media. And working environments haven't been spared the new world order either. If you are lucky enough to land a job, you won't get your own cubicle anymore. Instead, you'll do your job sitting at a long table, crammed next to a coworker who has a nervous twitch or some sort of infection. You'll feel uneasy as people eavesdrop when you make a phone call to your doctor, or experience multiple distractions while you're trying to concentrate. And there will be a smelly microwave oven 10 feet away where it seems everyone reheats last night's crab cakes for lunch. So, as I reply to endless job posts, receive endless rejections, and lament the current state of employment, I can't help but feel the millstone of futility around my neck, pulling me down toward an event horizon from where I cannot return.
You don't need a job if you're dead.
Well, the stress of job hunting can certainly take its toll. And if I'm not having nightmares, I'm usually trying to clear my head by sitting at train stations and watching trains go by. Actually, they say trains and train stations can be metaphors for life. Stations themselves can represent a beginning and an end. It's the place where people depart and begin a new chapter in their lives, and where others arrive having successfully completed their journey. But what if my train never arrives? Will I then be stuck in limbo? Or could I be waiting for a train that I hope never arrives because I know I won't make a purchase at the ticket window anyway? Yes, the constant rejections and letdowns have slowly eroded my confidence and left me hobbling on the mentally debilitating crutch of self-doubt. And it makes me question everything. Do people think my knowledge is outdated? Am I looked upon as someone who is old, set in his ways, and not willing to compromise? Do they think I'm just biding my time until retirement? Do I have low self-esteem from reading online profiles of the employed, who portray themselves as so successful that nothing could possibly be wrong in their lives? Am I losing my soul to the soulless efficiency of the machine? It's enough to make one feel like they're stuck in quicksand, stagnating and becoming obsolete. Well, the way I see it, I have a choice to make. I can either hold true to my convictions, stand tall, and persevere, or I can go back to the job I did before and forever avoid the look of defeat in my bathroom mirror. all the while allowing myself to fall further and further into the dark, deep pit of depression. It's not going to happen. I will no longer live in fear of the decision makers who pass judgment behind comfortable desks in corner offices. If they want to require applicants to have experience that no human being could possibly obtain in a lifetime, then let them bring it on, because I am a jack of all trades and very much like an adjustable wrench. I'm able to adapt to tough situations, tackle many tasks, and get the job done. And I've always been dedicated to making my employer's company a success, day and night, weekends and holidays. For me, the glass is always half full, and I gladly offer suggestions to improve the work environment around me. I'm also friendly, conversational, and I have the ability to be empathetic to other people's feelings. I'm optimistic, thoughtful, and outgoing, and I've always viewed myself as a good-hearted person who's willing to lend a hand to someone in need. I should think employers who want to succeed would embrace those qualities in a person. But if they can't look past their bottom line and actually see them, then let them forever wallow in their own short-sightedness. I will break the crutch of self-doubt over my knee, step off the down escalator, and take the express all the way to the top. I know who I am, what I can do, and all that I can be. I will not be discouraged, nor will I quit, and no one can stop me, not even you. So, to all the hiring managers, recruiters, and human resources personnel who went out of their way to schedule me for phone interviews, but then for whatever reason never called, who sent me on interviews, but then when I didn't land the job, made me feel like damaged goods by not suggesting me to other employers, who brazenly told me, "You're not exactly the age of candidate we normally hire," who told me their company was striving for excellence, but then in a blatant contradiction told me I was overqualified, who offered me an internship, but then a week later said I was still in contention, and then ultimately said I wasn't selected, who gave me the standard brush-off by saying that while my credentials were impressive, you decided to pursue other applicants, and that my resume would be kept on file for future opportunities, who built up my hopes by praising my experience and telling me that I was exactly who you were looking for, but then later told me the job description had changed and that I would now be overqualified, who promised me a particular salary or said, "Come aboard and we'll get you to where you need to be," but then reneged on the promise once I was hired, who talked more about themselves during my interview and never gave me a chance to highlight my skills and truly shine, who subjected me to excruciating embarrassment by sending me on interviews for positions in which I was profoundly underqualified, who required me to have excellent communication skills, but yet failed to send a notification or call when I didn't land the job and left me to twist in the wind, who interviewed me on 3 separate occasions and had me meet all the principals in the company, but then asked me if I was still interested in the position, as though you wanted me to make the hiring decision for you, who came across as indifferent during my interview, as though you had already made an offer to someone else and were just simply going through the motions, who required me to take assessment tests or work a day for free as a trial run, which made my substantial work experience seem insignificant. To all the hiring managers, recruiters, and human resources personnel Your bottom line mentality will not deter my spirit. In fact, I will prevail and eventually rise above your often inexplicable behavior and irritating tactics. You can count on it. But if you're not like all the rest and want to be a part of my success, then roll up your sleeves and let's get to work. Because I'm ready.